Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the First Class, Second Place podcast. I'm your host, Jason Enrique, and we got another first-class guest up in the building today. But before we continue, I want to remind everybody that we are live at Bravery Studios in Garfield, New Jersey. Shout out to Steve behind the glass. Wow, Steve is back. Shout out to Marv. We love you, dog. But damn, Steve, it is good to see you again, my man. It is really, really good to see you, brother. And you looking good, man. I don't know what diet you on or whatever, man. But I gotta get on your plan. I gotta go on Steve's workout plan. That's what I need to do.
It's called Instacart delivery.
Oh man, shout out to Instacart. Yeah. All right. But anyways, like gentlemen, we have a first-class guest up in the building today. You already know how I do, from one J to another. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the legendary JDymonds in the building.
Pow, your girl is here.
Yes.
You know, I did Instacart too. You hear me?
Yeah?
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. Just pretend you in the studio with 88 Keys and Just Blaze and you good.
Oh snap! That's a long time ago. I actually wasn't doing music when I met them.
I know you weren't.
Yeah,
that was back in 2000.
Yeah.
When I was just a freshman in high school.
When I met them, I wasn't even doing music yet. It's like God put me there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was like God. That's the one thing about my whole journey, honestly, is like trusting the process. Even though when I was that young,
mm-hmm.
I didn't know about trusting the process. I was just going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
But God got us.
Yeah.
Like when you're really strong and you believe, it's like He puts you in those things. You just have to make sure you're woke, like you're conscious enough.
We
to
need Heaven's
realize.
Gates to sounding off right now. I know Steve's got it. I know he's got it.
It's big. It's big. You hear me though?
Yeah. No, we good.
Yo,
good.
I did Instacart too. Yo, I be hustling.
I'm not, and like I said, I'm an open book. I'm an open book, and I don't do Instacart, but I do the I do the ride shares. That's what I do. So there you go. That's. Hallelujah.
Yo, amen.
Yeah. But so if you really truly believe in that, and you really believe that God, gives you the direction where you need to go, and you just happen to stop by my old little podcast, then I'll take that as a compliment. I think God is actually thinking, hey, this guy's not half bad.
No,
so.
He's not. Jay, you not. Listen, I think and not to like do a little pun. This guy's funny. Not to do a little pun, but in my album, in one of my songs, I actually thank God. Like I say, thank you for putting all those people on my path,
mm-hmm.
like putting them across my path. It doesn't matter who, whether podcast, whether at work, 9 to 5,
mm-hmm.
school, anybody you come across with, because really, we're supposed to help each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I say this all the time, especially in this podcast game, which unfortunately not everybody follows. But for me, what I always say is that it's not about competition. It's about collaboration. And I always tell people all the time that if I happen to make it to the top spot, I'm the type of guy that I'm going to bring everybody with me that got me there. I'm not trying to shoot for the zenith. I'm not trying to be the MJ of this shit, which we'll get into basketball because I know that's one of your passions and everything. But I'm just that's just the way I'm wired. And unfortunately, as I got deep into the game, I just there's going to be those people out there. But it's no different than the rap game. That's one thing that I learned. You're always going to have people that are going at you and try to go for the top spot and everything. But you just can't pay attention to it.
It's just tweaking the words.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's not if, it's I am.
Yes.
And during your process, you're going to keep working at it
mm-hmm.
until you get there. It's about not quitting.
Right.
A lot of people throw in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're still going at it, I don't care if it's something tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Small. Just work out that. You know how they say always work on the small goals?
Yes.
Then you work up to the big goals
mm-hmm.
because it's about consistency.
Yes.
So once you get into the little goals and you become consistent with that, that's how you hit the big ones because now you're ready.
Right.
It builds you up.
Yeah.
It's repetition.
Absolutely. And I don't like to brag about myself too much, but I can legitimately but what I will say is what I legitimately will say is that I am probably one of the most consistent podcasters out there because I take my breaks here and there because everybody needs to recharge and every now and then, but I ultimately just get back to it. And I was actually having a discussion with somebody and a friend of mine, one of my best friends ever. We've been friends for over 30 years. He sent me a video on Instagram a couple months ago where I don't know the name of this podcaster, but he has been doing it for a long time, and it wasn't until his 6th year of podcasting that he actually monetized it and is actually now making a living off of it. And he also said that there's a statistic out there where I'm already in the 1 percentile because the majority of people that want to get into podcasting, because everybody and their mother has a podcast now, they quit after the first 3 months. And usually for the people that quit in the first 3 months, they got in it for the wrong reasons, because they see somebody like Nori with Drink Champs and they're making like millions of dollars, and they figure, oh, maybe this is the new way I'm going to get rich. And it doesn't work that way. And when you don't have that passion, when you don't have that fire, and when you don't do it for other reasons besides having a bank account, then it's not going to last.
You hit it on the nail. It's that P.
Right.
Passion.
Exactly.
Because when you do it from the heart, and it aligns thought, heart, and action, when they align, that's what you love to do. And a lot of people don't realize that. They get sidetracked with oh, well, what pays the most? Because then that's what I'm going to go to school for, or that's what I'm going to go do, because it's the money. Now they're living for money. Now you're not living to live. So a lot of people that do things that they love, they don't make a lot of money. You have teachers out there that love teaching. That's priceless.
Right.
They don't get paid a lot.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're teaching the youth. They're teaching teenagers.
Absolutely.
So it's a bigger price that they're getting paid back in like a spiritual world when they transcend. You may not see it in this physical realm, but I bet you they're blessed in other ways in this world. It's big, man. It's bigger than us. And until people realize that, they'll see it.
Yeah, you know, a person that speaks the way that you are right now, you could tell that you grew up around the right kind of family, and you came from humble beginnings, which will start there. So, I mean, where does JDymonds come from? Like, where were you born and raised?
Born and raised Jersey City Heights.
Hey, JC.
Yeah, New York Ave. Till like 8.
Okay.
8 years old. My grandfather passed away.
My condolences.
We kind of, he's a great man. We lost the house. So everybody kind of went their separate ways, because we had like freaking like 4 generations living in the house, at least for what I remember.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But I left with my grandmother in Michigan, me and my brother. My mom stayed behind. Like I said, my mom had me young, 16, 16.
And you also have siblings,
having a baby. Too. My brother, me and my brother. Now today, I have 2 other sisters from my mom remarried.
Okay.
But they're like my babies. I raised them. So if I don't have no children, but
Neither
if
do
I was to say I had children, it would be my sisters.
Okay.
But hopefully I'll have 1 or 2 before it's too late. But
it will.
I definitely want one for my legacy. I mean, then when we came back from Michigan, I think from what I remember, I thought I was out there longer. Like I thought I was out there for like 2-3 years, but now speaking to my mom and everybody, my brother, my grandma, they were like, no, we were only out there for a year. I was like, man, that just felt like forever.
Wow.
It was kind of slow back there, I was like ahead of the game.
Yeah. No, I get what it's like, because, not to cut you off, but like you, when I was 10, 11 years old, I grew up here in Jersey, but then my parents split up, and then my mother took me and my brother and my sister down to Florida, and I was basically there until I graduated high school. And you're right, because when you're in a different area that's not the Northeastern, it feels that time is going a lot slower. So you could imagine me there almost a decade, how much it just seems like it was never ending. I felt like I was in a never ending story. And it's even worse when you don't go there on your own volition. I mean, I had no choice in the matter. I had to go, but as soon as I was able and legally able to go, I got the fuck up out of there, because it's not where I was supposed to be.
You came back?
Yes. And I get people all the time that ask me like, oh my God, you were in Florida. Why the hell would you come back here? Like, have you actually lived there?
Right.
Have you lived there as opposed to going there on a vacation? It's 2 different dynamics.
I could see that.
Yeah. And at the same time, the old saying, home is where the heart is, and that is not where my heart is. My heart is here, and that's why I've been staying here ever since.
Nice.
Yeah. But one of the things also that's interesting is so I know that you mentioned already that your parents they didn't stay long together, and there was a moment where your father was not in your life, and your mother was just single raising, doing everything that she could to keep the lights on, to pay the rent, to keep food on the table, the whole 9. Now, what's interesting and what's also commendable about you is, listen, not to judge anybody, everybody has their own different stories, but it's very seldom that you hear stories in your case where your father comes back into your life and you don't have any animosity towards him. You accept him. He's still your father. You love him. You respect him.
Absolutely.
Whereas other people, they would have said like, oh, he's a Rolling Stone. He means nothing to me. But that's not how you were raised. That's not how you were brought up.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my father.
Right.
And my mother or my grandmother. My
And I'm sure
ancestors.
that your father had demons of his own that he needed to work on, and
Don't
you understood that.
everybody?
Yeah.
Don't everybody?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think it's because of my mother, though. Because my mother went through hell with my father.
Mm.
But she always told me is, I don't want you to take it out on your father.
Yeah.
You understand? That's coming from her. You know, that's the Taurus, the bull.
Yeah.
She's a wise
Taurus gang,
woman.
baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, she told me, don't take it out on your father, because it's true. We all have our things that we have to deal with, and a lot of it stems from childhood.
Yeah.
And you have to. A lot of times, a lot of people don't start doing their shadow work until they're in their late 30s. You know what I mean? 40s, 50s.
I'm in my late 30s now. I feel like I'm starting to figure shit out finally.
Exactly, because 30s is where you really start figuring out like who you are and like what you want.
My 20s were just a one big blur of fuck ups of what to do, what not to do when you're an adult. That's what my whole 20s is surrounded by.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Now, I see that you once said this, and I want to touch on this a little bit. You said, "I observe my parents individually. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so I'm the type of soul who wants to test that." How did you go ahead and test that and get to know your parents like that in that way?
So when I said that, I meant like, you know, obviously we're all gonna have characteristics because it's in the genes, but meaning do things different. I remember my mom telling me, like, I don't want you sitting at the edge of the bed telling me, like, I don't want you to be like me struggling to make this money. She's doing waitressing, you know? Growing up in that time, I think she's in the 60s, growing up, 60s, like late 60s, 70s. So it was a different mindset. They didn't have, like, the resources like we have today.
Right.
Like, you know, like a lot of times you had to go to the library if you wanted to learn, or you had to be around certain people that want to share those resources, right?
Now it's right here.
Now you got it on the touch of your phone. People still lazy, but you know what I'm saying? So it's like it takes a certain type of mindset to really observe, but put action behind it. And so I wanted to take what she was saying, because a lot of times we don't listen to our parents. We still go out. I still went out and did trial and error, but I knew that I didn't want to end up like that. You know what I mean? Not to say that my mom is one of the greatest inspirations in my life. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have a strong person like that in my life.
And to be fair, she would want better for you anyway, because you're her daughter, you know?
Exactly.
Not to say that anything what she went through is like, you know, horrible or what you don't want to go through, but it's more of like, you know, I know you can do what I've been through or what I am doing, but I want better for you. You're destined for more than just this.
Exactly, because I have friends, I have people that I see that their parents are not like that. You know what I mean? Like, their parents don't even care that their children's struggling, or like they have money and they can help them, give them a clean start, fresh start to breathe. They don't even do it. My mom would give me her last dollar to see me go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
she's like, she wants to pass the baton. Like, you know, and it's like, I look at other families, they don't even care. They'll be off eating a big steak and dinner while their child's out there like, oh, they're an adult now. They could take care of themselves. Yeah, that may be the case. The person should take full accountability for themselves, but you don't want to see your kids struggling, man.
You're going to be the best goddamn mother ever. I swear to God when it happens.
It's from my mom, you know, and just seeing my brother and my sisters, like, and just wanting to be the difference. Because it starts with you and me. Like, don't you want to be the difference when you go out and you walk every day and you wake up in the morning and you just walk out and you look out into this world and you're just like, dag, like, this world needs to be better. But it starts with you and me.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
you got to be the difference. I got to be the difference.
I am certainly not the type of person that I have to wait around for everybody to start. I mean, like, I guess an example that we could use, and I don't want to touch on this topic too much because that's not what my show is about, politics. You know,
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why us Americans it's such a hostile environment is because we want the people that we put in office to do all the work for us, and then afterwards, you know, that's what about us? You know, we're part of this country. We need to we need to have some say in it. You know, we need to make shit happen ourselves as well. We just can't expect other people that are in different positions and higher positions to do it all for us. And we've become lazy as Americans that way.
I think is me personally, like, if we get into conspiracy theories and all that, I try to like chill out because they'll say, "Oh gosh, she's gonna get too crazy." But you ever see the pyramid?
Yes.
So you see the powerful people at the point is all the powerful families of the world.
Correct.
In the middle is the government. At the bottom is people, us,
Yeah.
the ones that are distracted. They do that to distract all that religion, politics, paying taxes, all that stuff. It's all distraction to keep you for what you're really supposed to be doing, which is your passion. So it's all part of the enslavement of the mind. It's power. Like if I talk about the solar system, like, you know, how they're doing, I want everything to be electric in the future. It's another power thing. You know? If you took away gas cars and you took away power and electric and all that stuff just so we could bring electric batteries, it's another thing of power because you could just shut the grid down, everybody being black. It's a power move.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, I'm ahead of myself, but it's the truth.
I get where you're coming from.
You know what I mean? You gotta be conscious of these things.
Yeah, I always joke around all the time that I know the movie Terminator or Terminator 2 was like a sci-fi film, you know, because Skynet took over the world and destroyed everything. But as we get deeper into this world, I feel like it's going to start feeling like an actual documentary than an actual sci-fi film.
Exactly. No, and it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm telling you. You know, I like foresee a lot of stuff, but, you know, if I speak on it, it's like, damn, what she thinks she is.
Right. Now, one of the things that people have in order to distract us is sports. And I know that you're a big sports fan. I actually doing a little segue now. So I know that at one point in your life, or even still to this day, basketball was a very big passion of yours.
Yeah, that's what kept me out of
Yeah, I mean, I love the line that you actually once said that I'm 5'2" in the land of 6'8".
Yeah.
I thought that was really dope. But you know what? That's so I want to touch on that a little bit. So I know that unfortunately you did suffer a devastating injury in an ACL.
Yes.
Because you stepped over Bigfoot's foot or something like that.
Oh,
but
you stepped on my foot, yeah.
Yeah, but where did that passion of basketball initially come from? Because it's not uncommon for women to be into sports, especially basketball, but I think that yours comes from a different perspective than most women.
Yes. Well, how old was I? Sports. I was actually, it's just trial and error growing up. And so when I came back from Michigan, I was about, probably like 9, 10. And we moved to Bayonne.
Okay.
It's like right between Jersey City
Yeah, I know
and
Bayonne
Staten
is, yeah.
Island. Yeah, so I started making friends. A lot of guys. You know, I was like the girl and cool with the guys. Just playing sports, like rollerblading, hockey, football. I was dibbing dabbing into a lot of things. I loved football. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If I didn't develop, you know, I know still there's women out there that really could play.
For sure.
But for me, when I started developing, I like gave it up, you know, and I went into basketball. But for me, it helped me stay focused in the streets, you know, because a lot of kids at my age, during that time, 11, 12, 13, they already being sexual. You know, I knew I didn't want that.
Right.
So I went to sports. And sports is what kept me focused. And then I started noticing that, well, you actually can get a scholarship, pay your way to school and stuff like that. Because I'm already thinking at that age, mom can't afford to put me to school and my brother to school. So I know sports can do that, you know. So
That was your getaway.
And yeah. And then also I loved it. It was fun. You know, it kept me athletic. It kept me like physically like healthy, and it was just something I loved to do. And
it was also good for your mental. I mean, not only were you getting in shape, but you were doing something that
knew it.
Yeah, but we didn't know these kind of things at the time.
Right.
You know, like back then, people were just getting in the gym to just get jacked up for vain reasons. Now it's become people's therapy. So at the time, you didn't know it, but basketball was your therapy. But it was also beneficial for you getting in shape physically.
Yeah, I was doing everything. I mean, I was into everything, like bikes. Like I said, the rollerblading, we're jumping off the steps in the high school, like doing 180s. I was doing all these things.
Yeah.
I rode back there, like I passed that school, honestly, Mary J. and Fifth Ave, because I lived on Orion Street. And I looked at those steps and I was like, dang, my little ass jumped off those steps doing 180. Like, yo, I can't believe how fearless we are young, you know?
I'm not going to ask you your age because I don't think it's appropriate to ask a woman
you
your
certainly
age.
can. I'm 42. I'm 42.
You're fucking bullshitting right now.
I'm 42 years old.
Wow, you look amazing for your age. Round of applause. Round of applause for JDymonds.
I'm real, man.
Okay.
This is real life here.
Right.
And like, a lot of people tell me, like, some people would try to say, like, no, they like to card me a lot.
I can see that.
They card me all the time.
But here's the point that I'm getting at. So we're around the same age range. I'm 38 years old.
Okay.
And everything that you're telling me right now about your childhood kind of makes me feel like in a different time zone, in a different universe, maybe you and I could have been hanging out. Because everything that you're saying, like rollerblading and hockey and basketball and all this shit, we come from an era where we actually went outside. You know,
baby.
Yeah, like I
love it.
I couldn't remember a time when I was a kid when I was inside. You know, maybe just to eat and go to the bathroom and do my homework. That's it. Other than that, me and my brother and my sister, we were always outside.
Yeah, my mom was always looking for me. Like, man, I loved sports. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
While all the kids were like, when I started getting into high school, well, 8th grade is when I started becoming really nice in basketball. And then when I went into high school, I ended up, like freshman year, I was going into Bayonne High School, and I ended up on the varsity team. And he told me that I was going to start, my coach. And I never started, but I always used to go to, he would always throw me in like 3 seconds at the end of the fourth quarter. And I'm like, what's up? Like, I'm nicer than half of the freaking people on the team. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then this is a community, a YMCA, like I don't even think it's the YMCA. I used to play at the YMCA too, but there was a school, I forgot the gentleman's his name, but he hold up the gym for like the youth to come to get them off the streets.
Yeah.
And we used to go there and play ball. And then one guy came up to me and was like, do you want to play starting point guard? And this was for a Catholic school. And he was like, is your parents here? And I was like, well, my mom's coming to pick me up. You can speak to my mom. And he went up to my mom when she came to pick me up, and she was like, we would like to have her starting point guard for Marist. And she was like, oh, I can't afford that. I was like, no, ma'am, we're going to take care of that. All 4
Scholarship,
years.
yeah.
And she couldn't believe it. And she was like, you want to do that? I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that. I want to play ball. I want to sit the bench. I started. I mean, there was a little thing, though. I actually had to go to court because they held me back a little bit because the coach took us to court saying that it's crazy because I'm like jumping the gun, but my life, how I told you, like my life was like really difficult. Growing up was like a very chaotic. So, I mean, that's like a whole other story in itself. So I don't want to go too crazy, but we end up going to court, and maybe that could be some other, if you want to ask that question later. But after, so I had to sit out for like 3 months, and I started in January to play. That's like the second half of coming back. So we made it to long story short, we end up playing them. The school I left, like for I think it was for
Marist?
the county.
Oh, okay.
Championship.
Right.
We kicked the ass.
I love that.
I started a game, like I pulled up at like a little bit behind the foul line, and I just like.
And you know what?
Called it out.
This goes back to what you were saying earlier, because let's say if you were supposed to be on that other team, chances are you would have got your ass kicked. But some kind of trajectory in life led you somewhere to a different team, and afterwards you became the victor in that one.
Well, actually, they were actually the great team.
Yeah.
That one.
Okay.
But you see how God works?
That's my point.
The team that I was playing for.
That's my point.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah.
Let me fix my curls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I completed the puzzle, and we became the victor. That's how God works exactly. Like I hope that's what you meant. Right?
Yes.
All right, because talk to me. I fall short of God's glory too. I'm not perfect. We all, So it's like, but yeah, that's why I was telling you, like, trust the process because He knows what He's doing. You know what I mean? Whether you believe in God or not,
right.
You should feel that there's something else in you that tells you get up in the morning.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you could do this. You got it.
Yeah.
Take a breath. Sit down for a second.
Took me a long time to get to that point, but
you know what
that's
I mean?
where we are,
Yeah. Like, you here for a reason, man. Like, I'm here for I do these things because I want people to really see that there's more to me.
Yeah.
There's more to all of us. And it always starts with your thought. And if you water your thought, you could bring it to fruition, but you really got to believe in what you're doing. It has to be passion. Can't be for money. Can't be for the wrong things. Because then you're already building your foundation on something that's already cracks in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
And
gonna
that's
cave.
Yeah, and you know that's where the difference is between you and me. Because back then in my 20s, when I was fucking everything up, that'll set me up for life in a positive manner.
You still not fucking shit up.
I mean, I'm not perfect. I mean, I have peaks and valleys, but I definitely learned my shit from my 20s. That's for sure. Because what's the definition of insanity? You know, it's keeping doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Right.
So, but no, back then, I was actually trying to get into the music biz. Like I was actually writing songs and, getting in the booth and spitting and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. Like we're not going to get into all that too much because that's a chapter that's long closed for me. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But I mean, it surprised a lot of people, but there was a time that I was getting into there. But the reason I bring that up is because that wasn't what was meant for me. That wasn't the trajectory that I was supposed to be on. And eventually what led me to doing this, which I feel like is my trajectory. So you, unfortunately, tearing your ACL led you into the trajectory of going into music.
Exactly. I'm like, even before touring my ACL, I'm sitting in the freaking studio with Just Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I met 88, before even touring my ACL. It was already in the plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't know it, but I was just going through the process. And it's like, then I tore my ACL after, being in baseline and everything like that, because I tore my ACL in 2001.
Right.
That's actually, I know on Mina's show, I was a little confused with the
timelines.
With the timelines and stuff like that. But I looked at a couple of photos and stuff like that, and I see the pictures with me, the machine, doing my leg and everything. It was 2001.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sitting at baseline watching Today They're Legends.
Yeah.
I know what it takes to make hard work. I know what it takes to write music.
Right.
I know, and the number one ingredient, bro, on some real ish is that you really got to believe in yourself.
Yeah. And you getting into music and being able to work with these people that you never thought that you'd never get a chance to meet, like legends in the game, is also proof how what I'm doing is ultimately what I'm supposed to be doing. And what I mean by that is when I was doing music, was I meeting Just Blaze or 88 Keys or any other person that I was, hoping to meet and rub shoulders with? No, it didn't happen. But I shifted over to podcasting. I got to meet one of my radio heroes that actually was very fortunate to come on my show twice. I've been very fortunate to have a legend like Crazy Legs, Joe Beningo.
Oh, snap. I have to look it up.
Joe Beningo.
I'm bad with names.
Well, Joe Beningo, for a little crash course, Joe Beningo, he was on WFAN Sports Radio for 25 years. He's retired now, but he still does podcasting here and there. And I've been very fortunate to have him on my show twice, in studio, as I might add.
That's fire.
I've also been... Exactly. Yeah. Shout out to Joe Beningo.
Yeah, you gotta shut him out. It's only right.
Right. And also I've also had on the couch a mutual friend of ours, Crazy Legs. So
that's big.
Yeah.
For me with him because he's just a really humble guy, but at the same time, he sees me, and I'm really grateful for people like that because he doesn't have to do that. Like how Funk Flex. He gave me an opportunity. He sees
Drewski
me.
gave you an opportunity.
And exactly and then now Crazy Legs is giving me an opportunity and he sees me. And it's like, I'm really grateful for these people because not only that, but they're legends, like you said, because they paved the way. They were there from the beginning, literally from the beginning, and they see me.
They're pioneers.
Exactly. So, and then I learn a lot from him. And again, we're going to circle back to the trust the process.
Of course.
And you see how God is still throwing these people in my life, not just throwing them but they're in my path because he's big on history.
Yes.
It's really important to know where it started, where it comes from, because once you get the sense of that, then you kind of have a compass and then you can learn. Because the one thing that Michael Jackson said, and it sticks in my head, is that you learn from the greatest and you become greater. So you can't do that without learning from the people that pioneers. You take the things, you twinkle a little bit sofrito in the pot, you mix it up
Add a
with
little
your
flavor
stuff,
to it, yeah.
and then you be yourself. Don't be afraid to be authentic. Don't be afraid to be yourself. You know what I mean? I think that's what people struggle with, because everybody's so judgmental. Oh, if I do this, or if I wear that, or if I say this, I just never I didn't care.
I can't speak for anybody else, but I know that for me, the judgment and being scared and wanting to, being afraid of being myself stem from family, actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So is the closest ones.
Yeah. I
Your
mean.
friends, your people in your peers, your family members, they're the ones that say the most hurtful stuff that cut through. And for me, I guess growing up, and not to cut you off, is like,
No, you're good.
It's like, I just didn't care.
Right.
As a child, I was bad. Like, as far as not bad as in like, maybe you can help me out, but more so like maybe
difficult
manners, or like, I was just didn't have or respect.
Okay.
I guess you could say. Because
lack thereof.
My mom, 16, she didn't really know, to raise us. She wasn't there. She was always working. So I was like in the streets. I was in the streets, but
oblivious, maybe. I think that's the word.
I was young, so I was just disrespectful. I would have told an adult to go F themselves. Like, I was that kind of person.
I think we all were at one point in our lives. I mean, I still have a little bit in me. I am a Jersey guy after all, but I've learned how to hone it. I'm now the guy that gives a middle finger if I'm getting a middle finger first. I'm not initiating the middle finger.
Right. I try to, man. I'm trying to be like on something really different, but
yeah. No, another thing that I read about you, and I thought this is really profound. You once said, "I love music because it's the only thing that hasn't walked away from me when I needed it the most." Whew. That is that's deep right there.
You're tapping into that,
yeah.
bro.
So, I mean, I guess I want to elaborate on that, because God knows I've been in situations where I found things that isn't even in the form of a human being. And I am very fortunate that I found it, because that's not going to leave me as long as I'm going to be there for it.
It's like, how we're speaking on passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's my passion. And I will not ever walk out on myself.
As you shouldn't.
And that's music for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I think hip hop's storytelling. So I'm telling my story, and I get to tell through the mic, and I get to express myself and be who I am. Whether people accept it or not, it's okay. Yeah, I do. Like, it's me. I accept myself.
And the people that are icons in our eyes and the pioneers, they accept you for who you are as well, and your art. So that goes to show right now, you're supposed to be doing what the fuck you're doing.
Exactly. I don't care. Age is a number. Meaning, you even had a Leah, she rest in peace. She was only 16, talking about age is nothing but a number. And I'm sitting here at 42 talking about age is nothing but a number. And you have people screaming out like health is the new wealth. And, it's levels to this.
Yeah.
Then you have young ones that are so ignorant that call in 30 and 40 old. It's like, and you look at
respect your elders, goddammit.
Then you have some people that are like 40 that just turned 40. Mind you, you know how you just said, like, you're not 42, right?
You're not. I don't believe you.
I sit in front of people that are 39 because, I'm selling cars. And people think that.
Lady in the tie, by the way.
There's a lot of people that think I'm test driving with people. They don't know who I am from a hole in a wall, but it's test driving with children, 24. Like, not to say that they're children, but meaning like the mom's buying a car for the child.
Yeah.
24 years old or whatever. And we're all sitting on a test drive, and then they're like, wow, you're so wise for your age, talking to me. And I'm like, girl, I'm 42. And they were like, no way. And the girl just turns around, that she's like 24. She's like, no, you're my age. And I'm like, mine, thank you. I really appreciate it. But even the parents are saying that. And they didn't believe me. Even getting back to the dealership, they're just like, whoa, I can't believe it. So it's each his own. Everybody has a different age. I get like 33. I'll get like 28. Sometimes I get 35. But to me, it doesn't matter. It's just like taking care of yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself.
Right.
Eat right. I try to do the best.
I
want to get better.
You just having a youthful abundance about you.
I'm very childlike. You'll catch me like.
Right. And I think what also adds to it is the tattoos. I mean, you're all tatted up. It's definitely a work of art. Now, what I want to know is that out of all the tattoos that you have, and God knows how much you have,
that actually came after COVID.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
all right, and you had a lot. Yeah,
I went all out.
But what would you say is your most meaningful tattoo?
My rose.
The one on your neck.
Right, yeah. Like when we talk about Tupac, Tupac said the rose that grew from concrete.
Right.
So I placed the rose on my vocal cords.
Look at that.
You see,
wow.
because that's my gift right there. I put I am right on my vocals. Because when anything that speaks to fruition, I am. God is on my right hand, the Father. So it's like, he's the number one manifester. When we talk about Jordan in the game, and, Kobe and stuff like that, I got Jesus is the number one manifester of I am. He's the freaking greatest book ever told.
Yeah. I haven't read that book in so long. I did read it. It's just been so long.
I have to read it, to be honest. Like, I know quotes and all this, but to completely read the whole thing, I haven't done it. I have to do it.
You will.
There's so many things I have on my bucket list, but it's crazy because I don't want to make it religious. Because I don't want to make it. I'm very spiritually inclined. Like, it's crazy how spiritually inclined I am. Like, I could feel people's energies. I could really feel it. Sometimes I could cry, feeling someone's energy.
Was this something that you always had, or was this something that you had to build up to as you grew up? Because for me, I grew up Catholic, and I'm not now, but I don't follow any religion, so to speak, or anything like that. If there's anything that I have been following, it's just whatever spiritual feeling that may be out there. Like, I feel like I've been able to feel something from a spirit a lot more than feeling something grandiose while stepping into a church. I could be in my own apartment and I'm feeling the Holy Ghost more than I do in a church.
Yeah, because we're not alone.
Yeah.
This is the physical world, and we have the spiritual world, and they call it the realms. But was that instilled in you at a very early age, or at
was
a
it
young
something?
age? It's funny because when we moved back to Bayonne, like from Michigan, I was like 10. I remember being in the schoolyard. And these two boys came up to me, and I remember this because I didn't know what it was from a hole in one, so I'm 10. Like, what are you, Christian or Catholic? I looked at them like, I didn't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believed in God.
Yeah.
But I couldn't answer the question. I was just like, I believe in God. They're just like, yeah, you're an idiot. You don't know. I wanted to, like, smack those kids. I could have. I was just so bad. I don't even know if I whipped that ass or not, but I just remember that. It stuck out to me because, like, what are you, Christian or Catholic? But a little bit, like, growing up, because now my father's side, my abuela and everything, man, she rest in peace, very, very Catholic. Like, my mom, too.
Yeah.
But then it was like, because we went to Catholic churches and stuff like that. But then, as I grew older, it led more to Christian, because we go to churches, Christian churches.
Right.
But to me, because Catholic was more like the saints.
Catholicism, yeah.
Yeah, and then the difference is, and then Christian was more in believing in the Word of God. So, but I don't want to really get too caught up in that because I feel like it's a lot of segregation, and I only can speak for myself.
Right. No, I'm in lockstep with you. I'm in lockstep with you because, like, I won't get too much into this, but that's kind of like it's kind of made me a little bit of a black sheep in certain aspects of my family, because I tend to follow my own heart and believe whatever I want to believe, as opposed to what we were supposed to be taught to believe in.
Exactly. See, Jay, you get it.
I get it. Yeah.
Tú
No.
sabes.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to get there, and once I found out that I could go my own way, what a weight lifted off my goddamn shoulders.
Doesn't it feel so good? Doesn't it feel good to just be you? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, round of applause for both of us, real quick.
Yeah, come on, let me hear it. Get them hands up, clap, clap, clap.
Damn, even in a podcast studio, you're a master of ceremonies.
Yeah, that was funny. Jay, you got it.
I try.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah. Another quote that I love that I see is some people are so poor, all they have is money.
It's true.
Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Y'all hear me out there?
You gotta do it for the front too.
Some people are so poor, all they have is money.
Woo, absolutely. Yeah, man.
Where did that come from?
I mean, you hear that. I hear it a lot. Like a lot of people say that. There's a lot of quotes.
Yeah.
You know, you see online, but it's true because, man, people really like live for money.
Right. But what
get
did you experience though, like that made you feel like you needed to share that with everybody else that was reading?
Because you're rich, like you're rich with your gifts, your natural gifts, like, you know, like that's why I'm able to walk like I'm 8'5".
Mm.
I'm 5'2", but I walk like I'm
Right.
freaking forget it, and like
You're a fucking beast.
yeah, like and it's not because it's ego.
Mm-hmm.
It's none of that. It's because of my spirit. Like I got my tribe behind me in the spiritual realm that really protect me. Like my family, my ancestors, God. Like that's why people can't really touch me. I have these conversations. I pray on it. I really believe it. I don't have to, you know, a lot of people are skeptical and all that stuff. I am not. I really believe in God because I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't walk in my shoes, so I don't expect anybody to understand my life. People like to judge you by your cover and think like, oh, how hard was her life? It's all about your experiences and how you process it. You know, when you process something, you know how they say for tattoos, my tattoos, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people tell me, oh, that rose tattoo on your neck, that had to hurt. Not as much as what I've been through. So my tolerance for pain is like, that was nothing. My girl D Ink, shout out D Ink. When she did this rose, she was telling me, I'm going to do the outline. And when I get to the middle, I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hour later, girl's done. She didn't even tell me she was in the middle. She said, look in the mirror and see if you like it. And feel it. And feel it.
It was meant to be there.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and then I started just getting to everything else. I have my other boy, you know, Blue. He does a lot of my work too. And it's like, I don't know. I went crazy after COVID because before they used to say, oh, you can't get a job with all these tattoos and all this stuff. I mean, I wouldn't touch my face, but
Thank God for that.
you know, a lot of people's like, don't touch your face.
No, the face is too precious for that.
I wouldn't touch the face, but you know, like after COVID, I was like, after this, I always wanted tattoos, so it's time for me.
I guess around that time, it felt like, you know, we were in a very strange time in our lives.
That's a crazy time. The
That was
whole world shut down.
Yeah, it was a crazy time for us, and it was all like, you know what? I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do because nothing is guaranteed going forward.
My ACL is hurting, bro.
Still right now?
Yeah, I think I, you know, doing a couple of moves or whatever, because I like to dance too.
Oh.
You know, but like, you know, when I practice and rehearse and do my music and stuff like that, I think I have a little tear, so I'm gonna have to get that checked. I think the ACL is tearing up again.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Yo, someone want to touch JDymonds' leg? No, it's not. Let me not do that.
No.
Let me not say that.
But you know what? It's a nice segue because one thing I found out about you before we started recording is you've never really experienced intimacy. And
As far as,
well, I mean,
because intimacy can be anything.
well, you said that
This right here is intimacy.
That's true. I guess. Well, you said that.
Sexual?
Yes.
With a man.
Right.
Yeah. I haven't. Still a virgin to them.
And that's a personal
La boca.
choice.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
not because I'm gay.
Right.
You know, there's
That's
a
a
lot
bit.
of,
That's a
there's lot
misconception,
of-
unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors going out there because I've been in a relationship with a woman since I was 21.
Okay.
I'm not gay. It's something that I chose to do. I've always been focused on my goals, my foundation, making sure that I was secure because of the way I grew up and the way I was raised. Remember, Mom didn't want to be another statistic. Didn't want to be a woman raising 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies because the man boy doesn't want to stay. So no one's getting through these legs. These
Right.
are the Fort Knox. you're spiritually not worthy to be there. I've been around multimillionaires, or the money ain't ish for me of what I could do for myself. I already know that what I am. I don't have to tell people what I am. You know what I mean? I already know. I foresee so much stuff. That's why I'm very humble. A lot of people, don't even know who I'm going to be, that I already know who I am. I don't want that to go over people's heads.
And I guess what I love about that is that you're displaying a strength that is extremely rare these days. I mean, that is so good for you. That displays the kind of strength that you are as a person, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the whole nine. And that's why I have confidence, and I'm pretty sure everybody else that has been in your circles has the confidence that you got what it takes to do whatever it is the fuck you want to do with your life. And I say this all the time, where people, they congratulate me on these things that I do, whether it's podcasting, whether it's acting, it's all these other things, and so on and so forth. And I appreciate it very well, but I don't do it for an ego stroke. I don't do it because I'm trying to make myself feel good about myself. I'm not trying to do it because of solving insecurities or trauma that I've experienced. If anything, the biggest takeaway that I want people to take away from it is, if I can do it, anybody else can. I'm not anything special. I'm not this great, phenomenal actor or this amazing podcaster or whatever the case may be. I'm just somebody that just said, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And, I've been very fortunate that it's been going pretty well for me. So I just want to be that pillar, that example, that if I can do it, a guy that doesn't think very highly of himself can do it, then anybody else can.
Jay, you're special, Jay.
I appreciate that, but I'm just simply saying that if I'm able to show it with my actions more than my words, there's no excuse for anybody else that can't do it.
Exactly. You're bringing it to fruition.
Right.
Look it, we're here.
Right.
This is real. You want me to come pinch you?
Would you?
Oh, let me get it. You really want me to pinch you? Let me pinch you. Let me pinch you.
Hey!
You're doing it. All right, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you as well.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Stevie. Read my mind. Round of applause. By the way, I don't know what you're wearing, but you smell magnificent.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I gotta keep it a secret, because then if I tell what I'm wearing, everybody's gonna wear it.
No, that's all you. That's all you.
But they say it's all about the pheromone. Because people could wear the same thing. But it won't smell the same.
Oh yeah.
So
I've heard that too, but luckily I haven't been on the short end of that stick. Yeah. So before we get into the final segment, and I can't believe how much time has gone by. I feel like this is like I've only been talking to you. Yeah.
We just kicking in,
we're just
like
kicking
if we're sitting on a step.
Exactly. That's my homie right there. That's JDymonds. That's the homie. So we are, like I mentioned before, especially when we were talking about COVID earlier, we're living in a weird time now, and it could be through anything. And from a woman that has displayed a lot of strength and a lot of versatility and a lot of confidence and so on and so forth, and you're in the music business, you've been able to rub shoulders with some of the best in the business, and you're solidified as far as I'm concerned. And so,
and a lot of people don't know that,
right? And we're living in a weird time now. So I actually saw this on social media. I don't know if this is trolling, but it would not be surprised me if this is real. There was something in the news that said Ice Spice reportedly challenges Lotto to a squirt off.
Wow, that's a real thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's real, but but the thing is that, is this where we are now as far as like the music generation?
Hey, sex sells.
I understand that, but
that's why I let down my curls.
But Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim and Remy Ma and all these other female rappers never had to do anything like that. They were sexy, but they didn't have to go through those extreme lengths. But I just think that
you explained it. You said it. It's like where we're going.
But I guess I want to get your opinion, because you're actually in the game, and you are you're a student of the game. You're actually in it.
Still am. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when you think, like I mentioned with Crazy Legs, right? Mm-hmm. See how he's a pioneer. He's still mentoring. He's still teaching. Because I learned so much from this man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to be that for. They're young. When we were that age, we were probably saying stuff like that too. We probably thought that we were like. I mean, I know. You couldn't tell me ish back then. Shit, I thought I was God. But they're being kids. Ice Spice is what?
I don't fucking know.
22, I don't know, 25. I mean, she's still a baby. I mean, of course they're going to say that. And it could just be it could just be like, boss talk too. It doesn't have to necessarily be literal, but you're gonna do your thing. Everybody each his own. That's the thing. Like, you can't really judge. You know what I mean? And again, it's all marketing at the top. You have to understand it's bigger than us, man.
I understand that.
It's all marketing.
It's just
everything.
weird.
Politics.
It's just weird for me because it's like this is
Sex is
what
the
we
number
are.
one seller.
Like this is, but this is the levels that we have to lower ourselves in order to get that kind of attention.
I know. I mean, and then that's why you see other people get respected. It's always an avenue for something.
Right.
So when I rise and then people start catching on and they're like, oh gosh, this girl, man, the way she talks, man, she's ahead of her time. Like I was like this when I was young, like 13, really spitting like this and like speaking stuff and making people think and shifting their perspective. And I was talking to people when I was 13, they were like in their 40s. And they're like, wow, you're really smart and this, and like, you're really intelligent. So it's like, but again, like when you have people like Crazy Legs, Funk Flex, really putting stuff out, like, of the history of who paved the way, the DJs that they grew up to, and then now he's putting, and we're going to speak on that too, like PRS Fest.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I will be there. Mm-hmm.
So he invited me to be in the cypher.
Mm-hmm.
That's big. To me, I really wanted to perform because I love entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I can't do a cipher. I mean, I do reels with the cipher and the 16 bars. It's like my thing, but like, I really love performing. Yeah. Something about performing that I just really love. Like just practicing, rehearsing, like, like I just love it. But I know ciphers is part of the hip hop thing, and that's what it's created. You spit your 16 and all that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty big, man. Like a pioneer just invited me. It's gonna be 15,000 heads, all the biggest names, legends. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, I haven't seen you perform.
He didn't ask Ice Spice.
No, that's true.
You're not even a thought.
Yeah.
No, shout out to Ice Spice, man. She's doing her thing. She really is.
You can't hate on what she's doing.
No, you can't. You know what? It's good to speak on this, right? Because the 90% is who buys.
Yes.
Not the 10%.
Right.
The 10% always has a lot to say. They talk the most crap. It's the massive that buys. And she portrays to the masses. Mm-hmm. It takes a special type of character to do that. Those people that are 0 and 1% to be up there and get crucified. Yeah, they're getting the money and everything, but you know how much weight they have to carry because they're in that limelight? Mm-hmm. You gotta be tough. You gotta be like built for that. So shout out to Ice Spice. Yeah. Everybody at
can't
the
be
top.
mad. Yeah, can't be
all
mad
the
at what she's doing.
Sport players, everybody,
right?
Comedian, everybody that's successful up there. God bless them. Because it takes a special type of character to do it.
I love the positive. I love the positivity, yeah.
For real.
And like I was going to say, I haven't seen you perform yet, but I'm looking forward to it because a couple of joints that I actually appreciate from you and I would love to see you live is I'm Pamper Myself and His and Hers. Those are two bangers. I love those records. I thought they're very good.
Shout out to Psychotic.
Yes.
He did that, you know? Psychotic's my boy, you know?
Yeah, so I would actually like to see that perform live one day. I know it's going to happen one day, so just invite your boy out when that happens.
I will. Yeah. The next time I book something, I usually hit him up and I'm like, yo, you want to do it? Because he's the producer, you know? And I don't know if I got my curl in my mouth, but you know, he's the producer, so I like to give him that. And he's like, yo, yeah, and he's fire. Like, I love E.
Well, what I love about specifically I'm a Pamper Myself is that you actually had explained that obviously that's a self-love record. You know, it's all about like, you know, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna treat myself. But what I find fascinating about that record is that when you wrote it, you were going through it mentally. Like you were not in a good place. You were in a dark place, and you were essentially manifesting into song form. And look what it's done for you now.
Yeah, I was in a very dark place, man. And that's what I said, hope and faith like a mustard seed, because it was small, because I felt small, you know? When you work so hard for something, like when you're with someone that you really love and you wouldn't think that they would ever do something to you like that, you know? Like, you know, it crushes you. Like they say, you hear a lot of people saying like, man, I wouldn't wish heartbreak on nobody. Because it's painful. It really puts you in the dark night of the soul. And a lot of people can't make it out of there.
I get where you're coming from. I mean,
but for me,
I mean, it almost believe it or not,
what it created for me. It made me like really appreciate myself.
Yeah.
More than what I have. Like I would have thought that back then I really loved me, you know, but after being broken down and, you know, stripped and then rebuilding and like really finding Jessica again. Yeah. Which is JDymonds, because I'm the diamond in the rough.
Yes, you are.
It's like, wow, that's where I'm a Pimpin' Myself came about. Like it's really, you gotta love yourself, man.
And I get it. I get it, because heartbreak almost led me to taking my own life. And
exactly. See, look, here we go. Boy, I didn't want to be here.
Right. And I'm glad.
And it wasn't because of the person. And we could speak on it. I would like to know for you.
I just didn't know my worth at the time. I mean, it's just amazing how somebody that you really love and care for could actually make you feel small. But I grew out of that, and like I said, I just want to continue to be an example for people. That
I gotta give you another hug, bro.
I want to give you one as well.
We both made it. Like, yo,
let's do it.
Right here, yo, we made it. I'm glad that you're still here. Yo, you too. You see, we're here for a reason. You know what I mean? Yes. We're here for a reason. We got work to do. Yes. We gotta save other people's lives.
Absolutely.
You ready for that?
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. We here. We made it.
Yes. All right. So
let's go.
We're about to close.
It's getting hot in here, Jay. Give these people air.
Well, you know what? We're about to close out this segment. So, Steve, this is actually brand new for you since you haven't been here yet. So I have a new segment now called This or That. It's based off of Black Sheep. You can get with this, you can get with that. So basically,
get with this, you can get with that.
Shout out to Black Sheep. So, Steve, what I need from you is I need the ding ding sound and I need the buzz sound, just in case.
Boom!
All right. So how this works is that I ask you multiple choice questions and it's tailored around you. So basically, you just have to give me a Sophie's choice. You know, end the thing on a positive note and a little bit of a funny note. So.
Wait, can you give me an example? What?
Yeah, I'll give you.
I didn't even answer.
No, we're just. It's just mic check, mic check, mic check.
I'm teasing.
All right, but you know what?
That's my comical side.
Yeah, but let's just have fun with it. Let's have fun with it. You know, it's not the SATs, so.
Okay, I want to just make sure I don't miss it. You know.
No, it's not. Trust me.
Sometimes I could be, you know.
No, you're gonna be fine. Trust me. All right, but you ready, Jay?
All right, I'll try my best.
All right, you ready? You ready, Steve? Almost called you Marv. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go for This or That. You, Miss JDymonds. Playlist or podcast?
Yeah, since I'm on the podcast, I'm gonna pick podcast.
Okay. Taylor ham or pork roll?
Dang, I did. Damn, I always used to do the. Damn, I think I used to do. Is this with the egg sandwich?
Yes.
The pork roll, egg and cheese. I remember having that. So yeah.
All right, pork roll it is. I don't agree, but
I used to eat the Taylor ham too. That's why I was cut with both questions. But
gotcha. Slides or Crocs?
What the hell? I guess I'll do the slides.
Beach or pool?
I like the beach.
All right. Dogs or cats?
I do dogs.
Instagram or TikTok?
IG is my favorite platform.
Introvert or extrovert?
I'm an extrovert all the way.
Batman or Superman?
Wow, Superman.
Glass half.
Hey, listen, but for the record, I like both. All right. Like 50-50.
McDonald's or Taco Bell?
Boy, I don't like neither. But I mean, if I had to pick, it would be McDonald's.
All right. Are you glad?
Hey, I'm Colombian.
I'm Colombian too. Barranquilla, what up? Are you glass half empty or glass half full?
I'm glass half full.
Would you rather be too hot or be too cold?
I'd rather be cold.
All right, me too.
Because, man, it's hot in here.
Yeah.
I'm about to take off my shirt.
Would you rather be embarrassed? Would you rather be embarrassed or be afraid?
Oh, shoot. I don't care for either one. So let's do embarrassed.
Okay. I'm always embarrassed. I'm good. Window seat or aisle seat?
I love the window seat.
Okay. All right. Ice water or room temperature?
I do the ice water.
All right.
I have the switch.
Reading or writing?
I like to read.
Okay. Nikes or Adidas?
I'm Nike.
Biggie or Tupac?
Wow, baby. Listen, I love both of them, but I'm going to go with Biggie today.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Wow, I love Nas.
Me too. Drake or Kendrick?
Shit, that's tough, bro. I mean, you know, and I'm only going to say this because I listen to more of his music, so it's Drake.
Okay.
That really, I'm sorry, but I'm going off of my experience. Okay, you're not in this seat, bro.
Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
MJ.
All right. And then finally, I'm sorry, two more. To give or to receive?
I like to give. And
then finally, teamwork or solo project?
Dang! That's tough because I'm a pimping myself, okay? I'm a team player, but I'm a pimping myself all day now that I've got evolved.
All right.
And then when I pamper myself, that's my way to give.
I love the segue. Be sure to tune in. Check out her music. Pamper myself.
Boom.
His and hers.
JDymonds.com.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this episode of First Class, Second Place. Thank you so much to my lovely, beautiful guest, JDymonds, for coming through here. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before we close out?
I want to give a shout out to Jay right here because he's here, okay? Nah, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I want to give a shout out to Trend Vibes Agency because that's the agency who signed me. And we got a lot of big things going down. I want to shout out Crazy Legs for PRS Fest. Your girl's going to be in the Cypher.
Hinchcliffe Stadium, Patterson, New Jersey.
August
Get your
31st.
tickets.
Go get your tickets. Come out and see your girl make history. You know, thank you so much, Crazy Legs, for the opportunity. I dearly appreciate it. Very grateful for you. That's going to be 15,000 plus, Jay.
Yes.
You ready? I want to
I
shout
will
out.
be there.
I also want to shout out my brother who does my makeup and keeps my face looking right. And my little brother, my partner right there, Alfredo. My mom, I love you. My little sisters, I love you, Sam and Sarah. Shout out to Stacy who holds it down. Pookie Dad, my father. I just love everyone, bro. Shout out to everyone.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow JDymonds here at I am JDymonds. That is IAMJDYMONDS. She is official. She got the blue check, so don't confuse her for any other JDymonds.
That's the reason
Check
why
her.
I got it.
Yes. Check her out at PRS Fest, August 31st in Hinchcliffe Stadium in Patterson, New Jersey. Everybody's going to be there. It's going to be a fun time. I can't wait to see it. Shout out to you for coming through. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, you can find me at I am Jason Enrique on all social media platforms. Don't forget to like, subscribe by Jason Enrique on YouTube. More content coming soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. This has been the First Class, Second Place podcast. We out.